Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of Shop Talk with Steve Peeden Racing. All right, we're with Steve Peeden. Steve, thank you for allowing us to come up and kind of tour your shop and talk to you about racing and your career and that type of stuff. I always start off with, how did you get started in racing?
So I was pretty much born into racing. Whole life, always been at a racetrack somewhere. Back in the day, it was kind of around the Fred King, John Gill days. And then that kind of transpired into later on. In high school, I started working for O'Neill. That was 03 and 05. Learned a lot. Learned what not to do sometimes. And it's just, if more kids could do what I was able to do, then you'd have a lot more people in the sport. It's just a really good time. Learned a lot for sure. And then 06, I got into super stocks. It was a borrowed car, borrowed truck, borrowed trailer. Everything I had was borrowed.
Gotcha.
Don Parsons, the Galt boys, a lot of people helped me out. And I mean, that motor I had was it was an old motor. It was like a 1980 350 motor. I mean, it was honestly a piece of shit. But
right.
We made it work, and I never forget my first time on the track. It was a Paragon. That's all I ever ran the first couple of years, is Paragon, and it was almost like being in a video game.
Right.
But yeah, so then in 08, built a new car. Ryan Thomas helped me build a new car, and then kind of took off from there. I had that car. That was an old Rayburn car we jigged, and that car lasted, I'm gonna say like 6 or 7 years maybe. I know I put 3 rear clips on it, 2 front clips, and when I clip it, I literally jig it in the garage on 4x4 blocks.
Really?
And I don't even know where that car's at now. I wish I knew, because the rear frame rails, there was like, I had the main frame rail, and I shoved another tube in, like it was pretty, it was built solid. But you know, we won quite a few races in that car, and then when we got in the TSR, I think that was 2016, 16 and 17 is when we really started dominating, kind of around here. Won a couple of Brownstown. I hate Brownstown. I always hated Brownstown. Just the track, like it changed so much, and now look at where we run mostly.
But
I was able to win a couple. A lot of luck involved, but I mean, hell, a win's a win down there, especially. So yeah, and then had 2 national championships there back to back, and then my wife talked me into moving on and doing something different, which I always wanted to run a late model, just never financially was able to do it. And then there in 18, we bought Marty O'Neill's old car, and I think it was like the 5th or 6th night out, we were able to win at Vernon. That was a lot of luck too, because Marty, and I think it was Mark Barber, got into a wreck. They were 1-2 and we were 3rd, and we just took it. But hey, wins a win.
Right time.
Yeah, I don't care if there's who's there, or how many cars are there. Wins a win. So yeah, it's I'm very fortunate. So
So going through, like, from the time you started through, let's just stop the super stocks. What was your greatest accomplishment as far as super stocks go? As far as like races that you wanted to win, that you won?
So I always wanted to win one race. That was Josh Burton Memorial.
Yeah.
Never won that in my own car. I forget how many years. I think Josh passed away in 13, and me and him were real good buddies. So I think from then on, I tried to win. The best I could ever do was 2nd. And it's like I had 2 national championships and everything else, but it wasn't until a couple years ago, the Davis guys, John, Jerry, and all them called me, wanted me to run their car. Andrew Davis wanted me to run their car, and I think that was 2021. I have to look at that trophy up there. It's not that spectacular of a trophy, but that kind of made everything come together. Just that one win. I mean, we had quite a few wins, and like I said, that national championship, but honestly, those national championships didn't get me anywhere, didn't give me nothing. You know, it may have got me a couple product sponsors, something like that, but that Josh Burton, winning Josh's race really put the icing on the cake.
Got you. A lot of drivers I've talked to, there's always that one race that's kind of sentimental to them. It don't matter what it pays, it don't matter how big the trophy is, it's just you can say that you won that race.
No, for sure. And I mean, we kind of traveled all over. I mean, hell, we went to Chicago one night on a Friday night to, is it Route 66 up there? I won that and came back home, and like that was all in a one-day ordeal, and I worked all day, drove to Chicago, got there, and raced and drove all the way back home. I think it was like 6 a.m. we got back home, but you know, we've done a lot of stupid stuff. But no, probably Josh's race is that kind of wrapped up my super stock career, because I don't have any desire to drive any super stocks anymore. You know what I mean?
So after super stocks, you moved to crates. What's some of your biggest accomplishments so far in crate? I know that's what you're still in, but do you have anything that sets aside so far in your crate career?
Probably winning that Kokomo Clash, because that was a super race, and we outran Rusty Schlink and all them guys. So that's nobody expected us to win. Even Jason Heyman came up. He was there. He came up to me. He's like, "What are you planning on doing here?" Well, came to win. That was our goal. But he's like, "No, realistically." I'm like, "Well, realistically, this track slicks off, we'll be good." And it slicked off quick. And at first it wasn't. They watered her down. It was pretty heavy. But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing. Just being able to outrun him.
Do you have any plans to super race in the future?
Man, I wish we would, but with money, I mean, I can't flip a super motor by myself. So Now I could probably get rid of some things and make that.
Make it happen, yeah.
But no, I mean, we're just going to continue on and go from there. I mean, we had a couple opportunities for rides. Nothing ever really panned out. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully one day. I'd love to.
What's your plans for 2023?
We're going to stay in the crate deal.
You running for points? You just going?
No, I honestly, my whole career, I've never run for points. I've never won a track championship. I've never. I mean, we got the 2 national. I think there's 3 regionals in the super stocks, but like I said, we never. I hate running the same track week after week after week. And it's better to branch out. You know, you fall on this line of the same track and the same routine and this and that. When you branch out, you find different things, and I haven't got a schedule together yet. I've been looking, and honestly, we'll have to see what the company does and the tire deal.
Right.
You know, Hoosier built these new tires, and they're supposed to be cheaper, and from what I've seen, they went up.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just we'll see what we do.
As far as comedy goes, I did see you guys left for Kentucky last year. And got all the way down there, and it started raining out.
I did.
You guys, there was multiple tracks you was going to try to hit though.
There was,
and then it just kept raining them all out or whatever.
just by the weather. I mean, I'd rather drive to Louisville and get rained out than drive all the way down into Kentucky and
Right,
get rained
exactly.
out. So, yeah, it's diesel's not cheap.
No, it's not at all. As far as product sponsors go, I know this is a good chance. So I always like to ask drivers about their sponsors because I feel like sponsors is a lot of the reasons you guys get to do what you get to do.
Right.
So what's product sponsors or sponsors at all you have for 2023?
So we just set this in stone the other day. Royal Purple's back on board for the 3rd year, which is great. Great product. And a lot of people give Royal Purple like they're too expensive, this and that, but the engine builder sent me a picture of my rings and everything, and or bearings and all that, and they look brand new.
Gotcha.
So that it was pretty awesome to see that. We got Mower Zone back on board, Jason Ayers Trucking, Durabuilt Performance, All-Star Performance, Porter Pipe and Supply out of Indy. Who else we got? Davis Automotive. I'll think of. There's a couple more. We're waiting on a couple to see if they're going to come through. But you know, getting sponsors is hard.
Yeah.
Like I have a big packet. I try to do as much as I can on social media, and people don't understand how hard it is. A lot of it's a buddy deal. Like you got a buddy that knows this guy that
Correct.
can get
Yeah.
you in. But you know, we try hard for sponsors.
And then the economy gets hard on you guys, and it gets hard on businesses to help you sponsor you, so it's not a chain reaction.
Yeah, and I don't know if, I try to make sure the sponsor gets their dollar amount, like, out of me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like promoting them and sharing their stuff, and I mean, I've gotten compliments on our social media just that way, because I mean, that's where we're at these days. It's all social media. So we'll keep continuing to try to get those guys and, you know, get their products out, what they do, and
Right.
you know who they are. So
All right, so we're going to do something a little bit different on this one. I'm going to throw a fast 5 at you. All right, you ready?
let's go.
Okay. Slick or tacky?
Slick,
Half mile, quarter mile.
quarter mile with cushion.
I'm going to try to think these as we go.
The reason I say
beer-
half mile, the reason I say half mile, we only got what, 1/2 mile here in this state.
Correct. And
So,
I wondered if you'd say, because
Yeah.
it's something different for you guys. You don't do
now we
racing.
went to, okay, we gotta slow this down. We went to Smoky Mountain, that's a half mile. That's the fastest half mile you'll ever race on.
And that's
Smoky
quarter
Mountain.
mile.
No, yeah, well, yeah, it is, and they
Yeah.
changed it, yeah. So that,
So that's out.
that's out. But
Yeah,
my
but-
God, that's crazy down there.
Quick.
Very quick. Even the
So is the
crate.
banking at Smoky Mountain it looked like it was pretty banked.
It's not that bad.
It's not?
No.
Okay. I wondered
Maybe,
from pictures and stuff.
maybe like a Bloomington, not even a Bloomington style banking.
I got you.
but-
Okay. But still carry a lot of speed.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Especially when you're wide open.
I was just wondering, what favorite track?
Kokomo.
Kokomo. Beer or wine?
Beer. my wife.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there. I think I got one left, don't I? For you? I don't know.
Well, beer or wine for you?
Beer.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My wife's wife.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's walk around the shop here and
Yeah.
we'll talk about some stuff that you got going on. We'll look at some of the trophies, some of the checks that you go on, and just kind of check out your race operations. So stay with us and we'll do a shop tour. All right, so we're going to walk around and we're going to check out Steve's shop, some of the trophies and stuff that he's won, checks, what he's got going on as far as winter maintenance and getting ready to see how far along he is for the 2023 season. So, Steve, I know there's a lot of trophies and checks in here. We were talking about dates a while ago. We might show us some of the dates. It might actually help you look at the check and see what dates on the check. So, I see that you got your 2 Sportsman champion trophy or checks up there, right? What else you have up there? Is that your Kokomo Clash in 2014? Is that a super stock?
Yeah, the 1, 2 in the super stock and 1 in the late model.
Got you.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different ones. There's a few from Brownstown, the super stock. There's one up there that's Charleston Speedway done a super stock race. Won that thing back in 16. Yeah, there's a lot of these trophies are from a lot of different tracks. Like, there's one from Muller. Those skull trophies are from Mount Pillier.
Yeah, I just want to ask about that. Mount Pillier?
Yep. Red Bull won 2 of those.
Was that in the super stock?
That was in super stock.
Gotcha.
Obviously, there's a CJ's Memorial race up there from Circle City this past year. So there's just a variety, honestly.
Yep. That's cool. That skull trophy is pretty cool.
It is, yeah. That's literally the only reason you go up to that race is to get that skull trophy. So
I like it because it's different. You know,
it is very different.
Something different.
Even with their new owners, I think they're still going to win skull trophies. So
Got you.
Wish they had crates because that'd be fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll move down and see what else is. Yeah, super stock special 1100. How many times did you ever win the Scott Pack? Just trying to recall.
No, because I don't think I ever went to that race.
Did you not? I didn't know if you did or not.
No, the last couple of years I went a lot more to Brownstown just to get more on that scene because we were battling it out with Jamie Wilson and the guys.
Yeah.
And I always like going to Bloomington, Putnamville, and that's kind of where we stuck to.
Yeah, and they kind of had kind of similar car counts too, didn't they?
They did,
running
yeah.
that new deal.
We did. We were always the biggest cheater at Putnamville, if you ask people.
Yeah.
You win, you're going to be a cheater.
Yep,
so
if you win, you're a cheater. That's just how it goes. As we walk by your car, what stages are you at right now as far as you get your car done?
Well, we're way off for Florida, so we're not going to Florida.
Gotcha.
But no, I'm just doing a little maintenance to it, checking bird cages and rear ends, stuff like that, all the heims. I always try to every 15 races tear apart the hubs, grease the bearings and all that. So it's just something we'll just start back over and go again on it. So
this is a lot of stuff that people don't see behind the scenes because they just think that you guys just unload your car, wash it, load it back on Saturday, and then go race again. But
I wish it was that easy, man. This is a 60-hour ordeal every week. Luckily, at Tony Thomas, he comes out a couple nights a week. Helps me do tires, stuff like that. Tires alone is probably the worst part of late model racing, just because it's so much time and prep and everything else. So
before or after the whole.
Yeah, just everything. And wash day. Wash day sucks, but I made it easier. I got 4 drains in here, so I'll wash this car right here where it sits.
That makes it nice.
I don't have to move it. It sits right here. Floor gets wet, but I can squeegee it.
Once it's on the lift, it's on the lift.
Yeah, it stays there until it goes back in the trailer, so it makes it a lot easier having that lift for sure.
What size shop do you have here?
This is a 32 by 52. Of course, the bigger the shop, the more stuff you got. So
oh yeah.
I'm pricing out lean-tos right now just to be able to get the truck and trailer and stuff under it. Because I don't fit in here. We came a long way from where I started.
Right.
I'm telling you, when I was in a 1-car garage, you could barely walk down the sides of it. So it's very tight. I wish I had pictures of it because we came a long way.
Right.
And people don't think that. They think that spoon fed and all this stuff, but that's not the case at all.
Right. I think that's what we talk about a lot. I know Roy and I talked about it earlier, but just you assume that just because Steve Peeden and them guys run top 5 every week, it's not. A lot of you guys that are local guys, you work for everything that you got. Sure. It's not like you started out with a huge shop and lift and nice truck and trailer and all that stuff. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we're on 17 years straight of racing, so
right.
and every year it's like, how am I going to do this? But somehow, some way, it always works out.
Do you have plans to go to Florida sometime?
I would need a lot of help to get there, just because I figured that out the other day, and I need like $5 grand, $5 to $6 grand. But here's the thing, like you gotta be able to take $5 to $6 grand and throw it out the window and
Right.
walk away from it. So
Right.
personally, I can't do that.
Right.
So,
Right. Because it's racing. There's no guarantee.
Right, exactly. I mean, Morgan and Tyler went down there last year, and I know, they had bad luck, so that's a little hell of a long drive.
Yes.
We went to Smoky Mountain, got our ass kicked, so that was a long drive back from Smoky Mountain.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I would love to. You just everything have to work out.
Gotcha. Let's walk around here and then we'll look at some of the other bigger trophies. I see the other skull trophy over here. And then there's a picture of your daughter. Now I know when I go to the racetrack, she pretty much runs. Does she pretty much run the show? Or
Pretty much, yeah. She thinks she does. She's 9 years old, but she's one of the very few 9-year-olds that are 5 foot tall. So.
Right. She, whenever I see her track, she definitely knows what's going on.
Yeah, no, she's my biggest fan. So she always wants to be there and always wants to go. So
That's good.
yeah.
Do you ever foresee her being in the car?
Probably not.
No.
My nephew Keenan, yes, he's a diehard racer.
Is he?
Yeah, he loves that's his quarter midget over there.
Yeah.
So I just I'm supposed to take him racing. I just kind of store it here, but man, that quarter midget racing, I've looked into it. You might as well go crate racing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
It's pretty crazy. So
Absolutely.
I took him to the parking lot up there at my school not too long ago, and he got some laps there.
Did he?
Yeah, it's these kids. They're ate up the racing.
What's some of these bigger trophies up here that we got? There's a Chi-Town Showdown.
Yeah, so that one was from Chicago. There's some Kokomo Clash. I did back when there's one up there. That one there, that's from remember when Fun Fest was at Lawrenceburg?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
we won a feature down there in that. What's still yeah, so some of those bigger ones are just the national championship trophies and regional championships, stuff like that.
What car is this?
That's my first car I ever ran.
Really?
Yep. I was 55 because I was a big Jeep Dan Warner fan.
I got you. Is that the Raven car?
Yep. One of them. We
Gotcha.
had a couple Raven
Oh,
cars.
did you?
Yeah. So so after that was the first year I ever ran, I was 55, and then I went P3 after that. My Uncle Dave was always P2, so I just went P3.
That's what I was going to ask you. Where did the P3 come from?
Yeah, my Uncle Dave, that was my Uncle Dave right there. He was a good guy. He was always P2. So in fact, I got that cell panel there. I'm sure Nicholas probably hand painted it. Let me see.
It does look like it's been hand painted.
It's back in the old days. This kind of some stuff I hang on to. It's really cool.
That's definitely cool stuff to hang on to.
So yeah, it's like I said, we've been very fortunate. So I worked my ass off.
Oh yeah.
And I've ran with a lot of stuff. A lot of people probably wouldn't, but I've always been able to make it work.
Yeah.
So fabrication and everything else. I mean,
Racers make it happen.
we do. Yeah. We've done some sketchy stuff, but in the end, it always works out.
Right. So before we got to check out the quarter midget, because I mean we get that. Everybody always has something in their shop that stands out. Whether it might not even be racing related, but it could be racing related.
Right.
So this is Steve's nephew's project.
Yeah. That's Yeah, and that's his toolkit. So he's to work on it. That's not my deal. And but I brought it up here a couple months ago, and we tore it apart. He helped me put it back together and stuff. And like I said, we went and made a few laps in it. It's just there's not a whole lot of quarter midget racing
There's
out here
not.
besides Terre Haute, and you know, that stuff's expensive. It's I definitely give credit to these parents that go every weekend with the kids, because they're not getting money back.
No.
They're not. It's totally
It's kind of more of an investment. Kind of
For
like
sure,
just
yeah.
hoping something pays off down the road.
for sure, 100%. So
I just,
yeah.
whenever I do his shop talk in the future, I just wanted everybody to see where he started from.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, he
it'll work out good.
he'll be a gasser, that's for sure. So yeah, that's his, and that's my daughter's little 170 Razor. She thinks she's a race car driver in that.
I guarantee
It's,
it.
every kid should have one of those, that's for sure.
I see she went with the paint numbers too. The
Oh
orange and
yeah,
black.
yeah. If you can't tell, we spoil the hell out of it.
Oh yeah. You got to.
Yeah, it's you always try to give them something that you've never had, or you know what I mean, try to
That's all.
try to make them see
Yep.
the value and stuff in that.
Absolutely.
And they do, so that's good.
All right, well, I just want to thank you, Steve, for again allowing us to come up here. And I know we kind of talked about doing this for a little while, and it was great to get up here and see you, check out your race operation and all that good stuff. So,
Well, they won't get a very good show of the car because it's all torn
That's
apart,
all right.
but,
I'll have
it's part
some
of it,
video.
so.
I'm going to do some. I plan on doing some GoPro stuff for you this summer. We'll get some videos made that way too, and all that good stuff. So we'll get some good sponsorship stuff done over the summer.
Yeah, well, I appreciate everything.
Yeah. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, hit that bell notification for all of our future content. And until next time, we will see you down the road.